Welcome back from lunch. What'd y'all have for lunch?
That chicken and queso.
What chicken, Austin? What'd you say? Chicken with queso? I had chicken with refried beans and rice.
If you put queso in it, it is not dry.
So yeah, whenever you get done, just put it in the tray. When you get done, just put it in the tray and then we'll explore the world. Sound fun? No? Well, we have to explore the world with the technology we have in the classroom. Yeah, the exit slip just goes on the back of the paper. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Who needs help? Do you need help? What is it? Okay, so basically,
What that got to do with anything?
the reason the Korean, the South Koreans, in the effort against North Korea was to contain communism. Remember how I talked about communism spread from Russia into China, and from China into North Korea, and North Korea was trying to push communism on into South Korea. And the United States' overall policy was to contain communism. So, whenever you contain something, what do you usually do? Like, think about the container. What do you do with the container? So the goal is to, hey guys, make sure we're staying on task. The goal is to contain, imagine you have a container and you're trying to close communism in here. Basically, sometimes really bad. Well, all these answers are in here, so what are you talking about? The Nazis? Okay, yeah, you will find that in this section. Criminals convinced that the aggression previously was Japan prior to World War.
We lost to 3 and then we lost.
So do you remember how like Hitler basically just attacked without declaring war, and how Japan attacked Pearl Harbor without declaring war? That's the same thing. North Korea did the South Korea.
So every time we go.
Can you get this done before you leave?
Definitely.
12:30? Yeah. You can still probably get a couple more done. Yeah, you wrote this one. The one with the scar on it.
Please and
You're getting on your nerves, and I can tell.
we came back 14 points. In the 14. Hey, who was going bang last night?
That was me.
That's pretty good.
Bang! 3-point basket for Swaggy P. I may do it tonight if Chandler hits a few threes, because Presley had like 5-3 last night.
She was on.
So, somebody gets hot, they're like, Jake gets hot tonight. Bang! Yeah, we're ready.
Oh, yeah, he is. He definitely is. I was thinking about that today, because like, Zach is around and talking,
Even
he's
like
just
that,
like,
they
reminds me of Chance so much, because I know Chance personally.
That's probably it.
So like, whenever he's talking, I'm just like, that's Chance right there. Back when Chance
Who? Oh, that one dude. Yeah, I remember.
Just
He'll
like,
probably be back.
hopefully. I'm gonna make him come see me.
Oh.
I've hit it in like 20 times.
Really? I haven't even noticed them.
Like,
Y'all almost done?
I'm done. My friends get
Not almost done? Y'all know okay?
Yeah, I don't remember that whole lot. Where's the block?
Oh, I did find a video.
What the hell are you
It
doing?
was, NBC. They were covering
Yeah.
no, I found another one. It was like the Olympics. They were like covering the Olympics and it's like. Oh, okay. Yeah, I found it. No, it was a dude. But I mean, I pulled it up on here. But if you want me to show the one.
Oh, no, it's fine. Oh, yes, sir.
Bro, I would literally break this.
Well, you can turn it in.
Do you take it?
Yeah, I'm on my side there. You can turn it in. So,
What's your name? I'm gonna scratch your eyebrows. You're gonna scratch your eyeball? How do you do that?
So, if you're not done yet, keep on working. I think I'm gonna have to show a little video of, kind of a tour through the, demilitarized zone. This is covered by the Olympics.
You know, when the Korean War ended in 1953, each side agreed to push their troops back from the front line by about 2,000 yards. That area is now
Keep working if you're not done yet.
With the help of some U.S. and South Korean officials, we arranged for the military escorts into the area that still separates the Korean Peninsula in half. Welcome to the demilitarized zone, 160 miles long, about 2.5 miles wide. It's a border barrier that was created by the Korean Armistice Agreement in 1953, intersects that famous 38th parallel north, and divides Korea roughly in half, all that you see over there. There are villages and people who live in the DMZ, both on the north and south Korean side. Occasionally you'll hear loudspeaker propaganda from areas like the North Korean propaganda village, they call it. And there are residents on the South Korean side with all kinds of special rules. There are curfews from midnight to sunrise. They're not taxed. And any rice that they grow is bought and distributed as DMZ rice. So here we are, we're inside what they call the joint security area, the zone within the DMZ that for years allowed the North and South Koreans to interact under the terms of the armistice that was signed in 1953. What you're looking at here are the South Korean soldiers with their backs to us, but facing the North Korean side. I don't know if you can see this sort of concrete barrier on the floor about halfway past these blue buildings. That's essentially where the border is between North and South Korea. Now, South Korean soldiers face the North Korean counterpart. But when the North Koreans do come out, they tend to face each other and not the South Koreans. This, of course, has been a source of tension over the years. There have been instances where, over time, hundreds of diplomats and soldiers have been injured or killed because of tensions between the two sides. The armistice wasn't signed in this particular building, but sort of in a big tent that was on the same location. And that armistice essentially laid down the rules about where soldiers could travel, where you could deploy military personnel, where you could put military equipment. And that armistice has lasted for 65 years. One thing you'll notice over here is a bridge in the distance. They call it the Bridge of No Return. When the armistice was signed, POWs were given the chance to go to the country of their choice across that bridge, but we're told once they did, they could never go back. But where would the checkpoint be? Officials here tell us the fact that the joint security area even exists is symbolic of the hope that one day Korea will reunite. But for now, it is the central location of one of the most tense military standoffs in the world.
So yeah, that was just like that was from 2018, so that was 5 years ago in the Pyeongchang, I think that's how you say it, Pyongyang or Pyeongchang, whenever the Olympics were there. So that is what the DMZ looks like. I think it's pretty cool actually. So if you haven't finished your exit slip, here it is. For just a couple more minutes, and then we'll go to Google Maps and do our own tour of the DMZ. Getting it?
You tried coughing to cover it. You're getting heart rate here.
Alright, yeah. It happens. It happens. Oh, okay.
Y'all know that was you, Chloe.
What?
That was you.
I said that was you.
Alright guys, finish up. We can go ahead, start taking a trip. So, if we're gonna start here in Kentucky, up here guys, if we're gonna start in Kentucky, which way do we need to go to get to Korea? What's that way? There you go. West. Oh, I was zoned out way too much. So we'll fly over the Pacific without stopping. It's almost a straight line from Kentucky, both close to the 38th parallel. So again, this is kind of like what we saw in the slide. The demilitarized zone runs right through here. And I found it in second period, but I did not find it in third period.
Are you looking for the two blue houses?
Yeah. Well, here's like one of the tunnels on the DMZ, which this is like the same, like this is the same kind of thing, but it's not the most iconic. Oh, found it. Yeah. So this is like an aerial view of the House of Freedom, the Joint Security Area. So, here's like a good, I think, aerial picture. I flew over it. A couple of days ago, or like yesterday maybe. And it looked pretty cool, but I don't think I can fly over it. So yeah, that's what we have seen pictures of. That's where the guy from the Olympic, like CNBC, went. And he walked all through there. Technically, this is North Korean side, this is the South Korean side. But I think the North Koreans stay in this area, and the South Koreans kind of stay in that area. Or maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. But essentially, like, the border runs through here, if you're like there, but on Google Maps it runs through there. And actually, I think President Trump was the first sitting president to visit North Korea, discuss, foreign policy with Kim Jong-un, who's the current dictator of North Korea. And that's all I have for you guys today. I think you have just a few, maybe about 30 seconds. So, just a few 30 seconds. Thanks, guys.
Last year?